back to our YouTube channel. It is Ella here, and you are highly welcome to another season 2 of the Humanitarian of Africa series. It has been an amazing season 1, and today I have with me all the way from Nairobi, Kenya, Dennis, who is here to share his story about his organization and everything about the great work you're doing in Kenya. Dennis, thank you so much for joining me today. Welcome.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Like Ella said, my name is Dennis Mavia from Nairobi, Kenya. I currently run an organization called Desh International, which I'm here to explain what we do and yeah, have just a good conversation. And yes, thank you so much, Ella, for having me.
Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you so much. So we know Dennis by who we are seeing, but then we do not know who Dennis is, what Dennis does, and all of that. So do you mind sharing with us a little about yourself? What do you do apart from, Desh Care Foundation?
Okay, so I'm a graduate from Desh University. I graduated on 2020, and currently I'm volunteering at the same organization. I'm still looking for jobs out there, but sometimes it's good to do something for the community. If you don't have, instead of waiting for those job opportunities to open up, you just try and look for something to do. This is a way also of getting experience on getting to know how to work with the community and all. Yes.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. That's good. So any other thing you think we should know about you? I know that you mentioned when I met you in Kenya. So guys, I met Dennis in Nairobi when I went for the Nonprofit Connect 2022, and that was where we connected. So during that program, the seminar, you shared a little bit about your story, growing up in Kibera slums and all of that. And I know that for those of you who do not know where Kibera is one of the largest slums in Africa and is based off in Nairobi, Kenya. So Dennis, do you mind telling us what it means to grow up in that kind of environment, Kibera slum?
Yeah, so for that, I'll just give a brief explanation of my life. I'm an orphan. My parents died when I was 3 months old. And so I've been taken care of by my sisters. So that's why I'm a bit biased when it comes to supporting women, because that's all I know. All I know, I've been raised by sisters and all. So you are raised in Kibera. So my sisters used to stay in Kibera, but me, I was taken to an orphanage in Eldoret. Then the orphanage moved to Ukambani, in a place called Nalani Yatra. Yeah, so basically, living in Kibera, it's quite a hassle, because most of these things like lack of water, things like education, those basic things is really hard to get. And like you said, Kibera is one of the biggest slums in Africa, and also one of the biggest in the world. So things to do with crime, things to do with drug abuse, there's high unemployment rate. So all these things, you experience them in Kibera. And if you're not well taught, and if you're not carefully, you might end up being involving yourself in these criminal activities. And most of the time, people don't do it just for the sake. They do it because they don't have you have to find a way of survival. So you have to find your own niche and make sure that you're surviving in these harsh conditions. So most of the time when you see young people involving in crime activities, when you ask them, most of them will tell you it's because of lack of unemployment. Most of them are unemployed, and most of them are idlers. So this paves a way for them to involve in these criminal activities. And for example, another thing, even things that motivate me to give back to the communities, because I always call myself a community product, because most of the time when we lacked food, we used to go to the neighbors. The good thing about Kibera is you can borrow, let's say if you want to cook ugali. I know, Ella, you've tried ugali from here.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Yeah. So you'll go to each door asking for something. Let's say you're asking for flour. Then later on, you ask for cooking oil. You ask for onions. Then after visiting like 10, 15 homes, you'll find yourself a meal. So that's why I always say I'm a community product, whereby I've really grown through the help of this community. So when I find the opportunity to give back to them, I use it to what I don't have all the finances, but at least with the small that I have, I can sacrifice and ensure that I'm giving back to this community where it all started. Yes. Yeah.
I cannot say that I relate with what you're saying, because I would never understand what it means to go through what you have gone through. But then to come out strong and having to want to give back to the society, not just the society, the community in which you grew up in, is a very huge thing. So tell us about your foundation, Desh Care. What's Desh Care all about, and what's the impact you have made so far?
Yeah, so Desh Care basically is a youth-led organization that was started by me. So, and I, if you allow me, I'd like to explain a small explanation on how, a brief explanation on how it happened.
Yeah.
So I have a privilege of having, after the orphanage, I got a family that stays in the US. So during COVID, I'd visited them in Michigan. It's Michigan State. So when I came back, I was seated in my dorm. Then one of my co-founder, she's a lady who texted me and said, "Hey, kindly help us. There's this lady who has committed suicide due to lack of sanitary products." So that really hit home. I was like, how can, sanitary towels just cost like 50 shillings. I don't know how that conversion in, let's say, $5. Yes. So actually it's less than $5 because it's like cents.
Yeah, true. 5 cents, because 1,000 shillings is $10.
Yeah. So this lady, apparently she went to class, and then she didn't have sanitary products or anything. She was sustained herself. And due to the fact that many of, especially the male teachers, they are not really taught on how to deal with these period issues and stuff. So they started laughing at her, especially the boys and also some girls. So she really felt bad, and she really felt like she's being pushed away. So instead of seeking for help and all, she said she's never going back to school, and she decided to commit suicide.
Oh my God.
So that really disturbed me, and I was like, I really need to act on this. So I had few shillings that I'd saved from my parents through the pocket money and all. So I decided to let me just go and do the sanitary products. I wanted to send the money to the lady to do it, but sometimes you have to be there to experience it. When you go there, you really experience that how things work. So when I went there, we had a meeting with the girls. There were like over 200 girls who were there. So I had, from my own pocket money, I had to buy the sanitary towels for these girls. And through that, I saw there's a way you feel when you've changed somebody's lives, when you've given them something, when they say thank you and you see the smiles that they have, it really impacts you and you feel like I've done something. And this is how you get blessings from God. So then I decided, because these periods, it's not a one-time thing, they come on a monthly basis.
Yeah.
I decided to organize a team from my school. And the reason why I call it Desh Care, the Desh is my name, I'm Dennis, so I shortened it to Desh. The reason why I called it Desh is because to try and raise funds. Around school, I'm privileged that many people know me, and they know that I somehow have a good heart of giving. So when I ask them and I say this is Desh, they resonate with that.
Yeah.
Yes. And they are willing to give. So most of the time people will be like, why did you call it Desh? But it's because of raising the funds. And we have been raising funds since we started in March of 2020 till now. We have always been doing sanitary dives every month. And we have never lacked. We have never lacked anything. God has always provided for us. And we just thank God. So through that noble act is when we decided to come up with an organization that will be trying to manage and be doing this on a monthly basis. So then when we went to Kibra, when you go to Kibra, you find out there are many issues that are there, and these issues are related. So for example, when you give someone, let's say, reusable sanitary towels, and they don't have water, so in other words, there's no way you've helped them. So you have to make sure you're bringing all these aspects to ensure that this person, you're helping them. For example, we do sanitary drives, sanitary towels for them to go to school. Then you find out they don't have school fees even to go to school. So there's no way you're helping, because you've helped one but caused another problem. So most of the time, that's why we decided to have 3 thematic pillars. So basically, Desh deals with community empowerment through menstrual health. Through that menstrual health, we do provision of sanitary towels. We do menstrual talk, because we just don't go and give them sanitary towels, then that's it. We talk to them and educate them on issues to do with how to deal with period shaming, how to deal with period stigma, and basically just talks on period poverty and how to overcome it. So we also include the parents and also the community. Then on education, we have education programs. So for education, we look for those needy students. For example, now we are targeting teen mothers, the young mothers who, for example, one of our beneficiary for this program is a teen mother. She became a teen mother in the age of 10 years old, 12 years old. And when we went to this drive, she was crying alone, and then we decided to go and ask her what's the problem. Then she told us she really did well in her KCPE. KCPE is like a national examination. And her parents had said now she has to go and get married and focus on other things. So, but when she told us how she performed, we decided there's no need of you. We are going to put you back in school. And apparently now she's doing really well. She's in grade 10. She's going to grade 11 next year. And she's one of the top in her class. She gets B+ and above. And she's always number 2, number 1. And she's also the school captain. So you see, she had really lost hope. And through us talking and ensuring that she gets school fees every day, she's now doing well. And also we have other 12 students who are under our Elimisha program. That's for education program. So then we have water and sanitation. So on water and sanitation, we do water donation, but basically we're looking for something more sustainable for the community. Like recently, we donated 10,000 liters of water to the rural communities of Athi River. Yeah, so, and we are also partnering another organization to ensure we are giving water filters. So basically the water filters dirty river water and makes it clean and safe for people to drink. So basically that's Desh Care. And we hope to expand to other communities. Yes, and you asked about the impact. So when we started, so far we have gone to like more than 10,000 girls that have benefited through the program.
Wow!
So because we do it on a monthly basis. Yes, we do it on a monthly basis, and we are hoping to scale the number. We are hoping to scale the number and make sure we visit almost all the counties. Within a period of 3 years, we want to visit all the counties in Kenya and all the schools. So we have gone to more than 100 schools in Kibera and also here. And we are hoping also so it depends and you can imagine this is just from our own savings. We don't have a major donor. We don't have anyone who's there supporting we have just few well-wishers here and there, but I can say we don't have like a major donor who like donates huge and stuff. So this is basically from our own savings and talking to friends. People are sending $1, $2. So that's how we have been managing to reach all these girls. And on water and sanitation also, we have also impacted over 500 families just around the rural communities, because 10,000 liters of water can be shared to almost 1,000 people around here in this community. The community is not that big. It's only that it's diverse and it's big in size, but not in population. Yeah, so that's it. And on education, we have also impacted the community through. Now, for example, now we are doing a dining hall in one of the local primary schools. So when we went there, the kids were eating in the dirt. So when it rains, it's really bad actually. So I decided, why don't we organize, come up with stakeholders and try to construct a dining hall for them. Now, if you go to our website, you'll see we're going to update it and post all the pictures of the dining hall. And soon we'll be launching the dining hall. So the kids will be eating from the dining hall. They'll be having their devotions, their church on that dining hall. So it's going to be a multi-purpose hall for them. Yes. Yeah, so that's how we've managed to yes.
That's a
Thank you.
whole lot of work. My God, I'm dumbfounded. That's a whole lot of work you have going. I didn't even know that you had all of this going. Well done. Well done. This is so much work, and it's really great. When you were talking about what you do with the community, you mentioned pulling the parents in to educate them too. So I know in my work with nonprofits, I know that some organizations get to complain about parents not being receptive to the information that they are giving to them because they do not see the need for it. So do you experience this? How exactly are you able to pull the parents in to just join you in the work? Because if the parents are not supporting the work that you do, then there is little or nothing you can do. So how do you do that?
You know, the one of the I'll say mistakes that many NGO make is the fact that you go to the children first instead of first approaching the parents. So for us, first we approach the parents. We have in our coordination we have people from Desh, and also we have people from the community that we work, we collaborate with them. So and most of these are parents. So when a parent see another parent doing something, they can trust that organization. Yeah. So that's what we have been doing. So we collaborate with parents and ensure that we are in sync with them. For example, one of our coordinators in Kibera Slum is a parent to he has almost 9 kids that benefit from the sanitary drive and all. So basically through that parent, we can be able to reach out to other parents. And even most of the time, sometimes when let's say we are focusing on another field, you'll see them calling and asking, what's you guys still coming and all. So it's something that clearly tells you we've already synced with them, and we're in the same picture with the parents. So it becomes really, and then another thing is they see us, we are not there to exploit them. So most of the time, many organizations, they go that way. They take their data. When we are doing the assessment for the water filters, some of the people are very hostile to us because they said, you guys just come and take data for our community, then you don't do anything, you just go, you just leave. But for us, you've been taking data and also keeping in touch with them. So for example, the program might not have it's not ready due to funds and all, but what are you doing to ensure that you're keeping in touch with them? So most of the time we do the calls, we tell them how things are, we in short we form a rapport with them. So that becomes easy for them to, so I can go to Cuba anytime and I'll still be okay, because many parents already know me and they know I'm coming there, and I'm also one of them, and I'm coming there to benefit the community. I'm not there for my own gains. Like I said, we do this from our own pocket money, and it's through what God has blessed us with. Yes.
There's a huge lesson to learn there for other nonprofit leaders. Build a rapport with the beneficiaries. That's even the parents of the beneficiaries, whether or not you have the funds to get it done at the moment, just so that they know what is going on. Communication is key, like I keep telling everyone. And you also mentioned having to meet the parents first and not the children. That's really a huge lesson to learn. So moving on, you mentioned having to work with stakeholders to get some projects done, like the dining hall that you mentioned. What has been the reception of these stakeholders and also the government? Have you in any way had any backlash or support from the government or the stakeholders in the community?
Yeah, so basically we have not, there's one thing with the government wants to see you doing something before they join you. So it's really hard for you to go and tell the government, I have this idea of starting a school. They will be like, it's just an idea. So, but if you start, then the government can come in and help. For example, when we're doing the dining hall, we first, what happened is we are planting trees for the school as a way of just environmental issues and all. So we are planting trees. Then I decided to, why don't we fundraise? I use this opportunity to fundraise and see how it goes. So apparently there were few aspirant member of parliaments and all. So I told them the idea, and they said, "Oh, we are going to contribute some." Some said they are going to bring 10 bags of cement. They never showed up. So that's okay. That's okay, because most of them promise and they don't do anything.
It's normal.
Yeah. But so the good thing is the community, the one thing about this community, it's there's a form of the people are together. So when they see you doing something and at least you try involving them, they'll try and come in. But some issue that we have experienced with stakeholders is some will just promise to do something, then you're banking on them, then they don't show up, or they don't do it. So most of the time when you're going to this involving the stakeholders, just make sure you have a backup plan to ensure that when this fails, at least you have something to
fall back on.
Yes, and also for example, one of the greatest stakeholders that we have are our DESTA students, because, for example, there's one who is, through his family, they donated over 100 bags of cement to the project. And sometimes you might think they don't bring a lot to the table, but believe me, they're really handful. Some of them are, for example, in school, some of them are their families a bit wealthy, and they are the who and who in this society. So if you want to reach to their parents, because some parents here, they have this big wall that you can't break due to security.
You have to reach them first.
Yes. So, but if you go through the children, who are, most of them are my friends, it becomes really hard to reach to the top guy, because it's just simple and all. Yes. So basically the main challenge was many people promise to do something, then they don't show up during the actual project. They don't show up. So if you're banking on them, you've put your eggs in one basket on them, it becomes really hard. Most of the time they don't show up, and that's it. You're doomed. So for us, we've learned to always have a plan A, B, and also C. And if it's necessary, you have a plan D and E. So if C fails, at least the project still continues, because you've already, it's like a contract. You've already made a contract with these kids that you said you're going to do a demo.
And you have to live up to the promise.
Yes. So for them, they don't care how you're going to get the money. They just want you to have a dining hall for them to eat on a good place. So you just have to make you have to use all the necessary resources and all the options available. Yes. Yeah.
That's great. So talking about challenges and struggles that you have, apart from funding, because I know that every organization struggles with funding, getting partners, collaborators for the work that they do, and it's a major thing. But apart from that, going deeper, are there any struggles or challenges that you have experienced or you are still experiencing so far?
Yeah, of course. Of course, you said funding and partners. That's all in every organization. But one of the biggest challenge is sometimes when you're trying to introduce new programs, new programs and initiative. For example, you wanted to do the reusable sanitary towels to curb period poverty, and sometimes the parents may be very receptive towards that. They might be hostile because they're like, no, we cannot allow our kids to use for example, reuse the washables and all. Another thing is trying to educate the community on, for example, the reusable sanitary towels, because some already see the blood as a taboo, so nobody can touch it. So it becomes really hard for you to explain to them that this is a way that's going to help fight this period poverty. Yeah, sustainable way of addressing this. So that's one of the, because I remember once we were going to do this reusable sanitary towels, we had first to sit like for 2 hours explaining to them why it's important to go the reusable way. Yes. So it was really hard. It was really hard. But I'm glad that we have a team of coordinators and also some parents coming in. Becomes really easy for us to explain to them and also try to convince them that we have to go this way if we have to fight this period poverty and also conserve our environment. because the disposable ones, they are really harmful to the environment, but reusable ones, they can also conserve the environment. Another issue is some parents are not cooperative. For example, there's one of the kids you are taking to school, and the car was already full. We had a 7-seater, and the car was already full. So this lady, this woman, she said, "I want to go and see where my kid studies, and it's a must I go." So you're like, wait, no, this is a scholarship that we're giving to your son, and we don't care, like, you going there, you still go there, but for now we have to go with my team, because we have those who are doing records, we have those who will be buying the uniforms, we'll be doing the shopping and all. So that was quite hard. That was one of the hardest, convincing this parent that you have to stay at home, then later on we can go later on. So that was really, really hard. Another thing is, some of them come already with demands. For example, there's one was saying, "You have to take my kid to this school." And maybe, I don't know, has come, has said, "You have to take them to this school." Yes.
Good.
So it becomes really hard. It becomes really hard to help those kind of kids. So most of the time, we'll try convincing the parent, but because we are just like a stakeholder, we're just like an arm of the government. So the mother is the full government, as we just an arm. So despite all, so that was one of the challenges that yes, but all in all, we have been doing fine, and the good thing is we have support from some parents, and that's a good thing. Yes. So when you have a support from the parents and the community, it becomes really hard also to move forward. Yes.
I can imagine how you had to struggle with that parent to let her.
Actually, it was from 5 in the morning, so the time that we were leaving, it was almost 7:38 there.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So before I let you go, are there any programs or projects you would like the audience to support you with?
Yeah, so currently all our programs are on the website. So if you feel free to donate any amount, for example, for mental health, you can donate any amount, because 50 shillings helps a lot. Yeah, and but we are now looking for sustainable ways of addressing all these issues. So for example, you want to come up with the cups for the reusable, and also we need to come up with, for example, the sewing machine, whereby we'll be making the reusable sanitaries ourselves, then we give to the kids. But the major one that we want to do, we want to come up with a school. Ella, I've been approached by over 100 people wanting me to sponsor their kids for school every day. Sometimes I'll just lock myself in the house, because once I'm out, I have calls, I have messages everywhere. So what I want to do, we want to start fundraising and come up with a big school. For example, here where I stay, the first public secondary school is over 10 kilometers away. So we only have private schools here, which are very expensive. And we have a primary school, but not a secondary school. So kids have to walk 10 kilometers every day to and fro to go to school nearby. So we want to try and come up with a high school whereby it's going to help many people, and through that we want to also through the money that the affordable fees that they'll be paying, will ensure that we are helping many people, and the program is sustainable by itself, so it's going to finance itself. And one thing, the school is going to be both formal and informal. So for example, when you finish class 8 and you don't want to go to secondary school, what can we do? We can teach you maybe computer lessons, or we can teach you, we just have skills. And also want the students who will be doing also from the high schoolers, they can also come in and also learn a different skill. For example, carpentry, sewing, things to do with welding. At least they have another skill, because one of the things that we suffer in Africa is we really depend on education, and we forget the part of having a separate skill. See, so when you have a certain skill, it becomes really easy for you also to move around here. So for example, when you're waiting to go to college, you can be doing maybe you start your own workshop, hire a few people, and start making money, at least being self-employed. So the school will both be formal and informal, and we are going to give first priority to girls and teen mothers, because here in Africa, once you get pregnant at a young age, that's the end of the road for you for education. Yeah. Yes. So, but we need to give second chance to these people, because I believe having a child should not be an hindrance for you to get the education. So that's why I want to come up with this school and ensure that we are moving forward and helping many people in this community. Yes.
No problems at all. So guys, you have heard it from Dennis. He needs support to build the school in the community that they work with, so that they can help as many children as possible. Children in the slums, basically, because these children need the help. So the details for their website, the donation details are all in the description. And you would also be seeing this on your screen. So feel free to send an email, send a message, or just donate anonymously, because I know there are some people that do not want to be known. So every dollar, every cent is really, really going to go a long way. So thank you so much, Dennis, for coming here to share your amazing story of the great work you're doing. And I'm sure that when I go back to Nairobi, I'm definitely going to see you and see the children in the new school that you're building for them. So thank you so much. And everyone, look out for the next episode of the Humanitarians of Africa series. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe and share this with as many people as possible. From us, bye-bye.